Grace and peace to you, members of our prayer group here at West Parish of Barnstable United Church of Christ. If you have specific prayer concerns or celebrations you would like included next week, just email me or call the office. I'll be glad to add them in. By way of prayer concerns and celebrations this week, let's begin by holding up in prayer the family of Dick White, who died this past week after a short struggle with bladder cancer. Dick was the husband, of course, of the late Marlene White, a bit of a legend around the church, and father of Kenyon. By way of celebrations, we had a glorious Sunday worship here this past weekend, which happily fell on Independence Day. And for the first time in memory, the Barnstable Parade came right by the meeting house, right at the beginning of the worship service, right before we started. So many of us turned to wave as they went by. Bob and Shirley Stolte were resplendent as grand marshals, leading the parade from the rear seat of a convertible, doing the royal wave, closely followed by Mercy Otis Warren 2021 Cape Cod Woman of the Year Wendy Northcross, with her husband Van, again in a convertible, and later Greg Ketchen came by in a vehicle dedicated to the Coast Guard Museum, where he is very active in promoting and enhancing the museum and its offerings. It was truly wonderful to see how many people at West Parish are out in the West Parish community working for its welfare in so many varied ways. So let us begin today with a prayer we used in our Sunday worship service. As we celebrate Independence Day, we remember with thanksgiving men and women of this country who envisioned and worked for freedom from political tyranny. We remember all who have worked and striven at great cost to preserve the ideals upon which this country was founded. And so we give thanks for Mercy Otis Warren and George Washington, for Abraham Lincoln and Susan B. Anthony, for Franklin Delano Roosevelt and Martin Luther King Jr., and so many others. For the women and men who have served this country in our armed forces, for those who in time of war remained on the home front and sacrificed in their own way, for the women and men who have had the courage to recall this nation to its ideals of equality, justice, and peaceful coexistence with others. We remember also, with thanksgiving, the women and men who envisioned and acted for religious freedom, who sought to reform the church in faith and in hope. We give thanks for John Calvin and Henry Jacob, for John Lothrop and his traveling congregation, for Elizabeth Crocker Jenkins, for Darrell Goodwin, our Southern New England Conference Executive Conference Minister, for John Dorhauer, President of the United Church of Christ. Even as we rejoice in our freedoms, both political and religious, let us also rejoice in our dependence on the one guarantor of our salvation, Jesus the Christ. All praise to you, O Christ. Amen. And now let us continue in the spirit of prayer, asking that God watch over and care for those on our prayer list, as we listen to John Williams and Steve Gregory singing Be a Light, a song about making a difference in the world.
In a time full of war, be peace. In a time full of doubt, just believe. There ain't that much difference between you and me. In a time full of war, be peace. In a world full of hate, be a light. When you do somebody wrong, make it right. Don't hide in the dark, you were born to shine. World full of hate, be a light. place that needs change, make a difference. Time full of noise, just listen. Life is but a breeze, just live it. A place that needs change, make a difference. A world full of hate, be a light. When you do somebody wrong, make it right. Don't hide in the dark, you were born to shine. A world full of hate, be a light. La 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 la. In a race you can't win, slow it down. You only get one go round. 'Cause the finish line is 6 feet in the ground. In a race you can't win, just slow it down. In a world full of hate, be a light. When you do somebody wrong, make it right. Don't hide in the dark, you were born to shine. In a world full of hate, be a light. Yeah, it's hard to live in color when you just see black and white. In a world full of hate, be a light.
God bless you all, and God be with you till we meet again.